thank you so much for joining me today for day 10 of Christie's Beautiful Life's 30 Days of Sketches. This is round 10 and today's sketch is by Brooklyn Ruff, and the two photos that you see there are from the trip that my daughter and I made to Hamilton. You will have seen this on a previous video if you've been following along with the 30 Days of Sketches, and these are of us actually inside the theatre before the performance began. So, taking inspiration from the sketch, which you can see at the top of the page there, I wanted to use the papier pieces from Vicki Boutin's Print Shop to create a strip right down the centre of the page, and then I'll have my two photos to either side. I'm not quite sure where the position is going to go at this point, so I'm just playing, putting the pieces down and then playing around with the positioning of the photos as I go. So, like I say, just going through the bits. I pull out too many at the beginning and I will pare this down, but it's just to try and get that feeling of whether this is going to work for me or not, but it does. I'm pleased to confirm. So I'll leave you to watch me just working out exactly which pieces to use and where they're going to be positioned down this strip. And I'm really happy with the way these are looking now. So what I'm going to do is pull in another piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. I want to add some mixed media to the background behind these pieces. And the easiest way I've found to do this is to mirror the layout. So I'm taking a second piece to do my mixed media on. And then once that's done, I'll slowly transfer the pieces over onto this second piece of cardstock. It's a great way of making sure that you're happy with your positioning, and also adding your mixed media without losing the placement of what you've already done. So this is a new darkroom door stamp which we're going to be stocking in Hey Little Magpie. I just wanted to use it before ordering them in, but they are on their way now. And you can see I've left the backing. I don't know what I was thinking. That white backing, if you peel that off, it does become a cling stamp. But this just shows that you don't actually need blocks to use these rubber, particularly the red rubber stamps. They're very sturdy. So now I want to create a watercolor background. So I'm just mixing up some of my Tim Holtz Distress Oxide inks. I've got Salvage Patina, which is the turquoisey colour. I've forgotten what it's called. It's the Duck Egg Blue that I always tend to use, and Bundled Sage is the green. So I've just mixed them all together there, added a little bit of water, and now I'm just spreading them around the edges of where the ephemera pieces are going to go on this layout. And then spreading it out around the sides to add a photo mat where the photos will go as well. I forgot to mention that it was antique linen that I used the darkroom door stamp with, and that's created all those little circles, and most of them get covered in the end, but there are still some showing, and that's what I like about mixed media. You build up layers. You don't always get to see everything that you've done, but it all adds to the effect in the end. Sometimes it's better than just trying to carefully position where you want. It's better to let it happen organically, really. So because I didn't use too much water, more or less straight away I can stick these down. You can see the some of the mixed media is a little bit wet there on the right hand side, but it's fine. Just down the middle I can keep adding things on. So just going through with my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive and adhering all these down. And I do love these pieces in the papier pack. I've mentioned it before, but they are tissue thin, so they don't add too much bulk, which is really nice when you're layering like this. And I've used a mixture of the paper pieces and the washi tape stickers here. So just sticking that last washi tape sticker down, and then I'm going to come in with my sewing machine and some black machine thread to add some stripes down the middle with zigzag and straight stitch. I won't let you watch it all. It's pretty boring seeing a piece of card going back and forth through a machine, but there you can see the stitching, and I did I think it was 4 lines in the end. So now just working out where I want my photos to go on there, and then I'm going to come in and map those with some of the papers from the 6x8 paper pad. And I want to offset the photos slightly on the mat, so I'm going to distress the mat first before sticking the photo down. And now the photo's adhered down onto that first mat, I'm going to start going through some of the scraps that I've got in this 6x8 pad to build up some layers behind the photo. This is a great way to add interest and bring the different colours in from the rest of the layout. So just adding a piece, distressing the edges and adding a piece as I go until I'm happy with the built up layers behind it. Now I wanted to bring in some of this red, so I'm actually going to cut a piece off the full sheet. I'm not averse to using full sheets, but I do try and use up my scraps where I can as I'm going along scrapbooking. I just find it keeps me a bit neater when I do that, and it doesn't waste the full sheets that I might want to use as a full sheet or as a 12 by 12. Nothing worse than reaching for something and realise you've cut both edges down and it's not 12 inches anymore, so you can't span the page. So just distressing these edges, and then that'll be added to that photo mat. And now I'm happy with the way those layers are built up. I'm going to adhere that bulldog clip sticker down. This again is a washi sticker from the Papyri pack. So just sticking that above where the photo is going to be placed. And once that's done, I should move my attention onto the other photo and do exactly the same thing, layering up scraps. Oh, I do stick this one down first, sorry, with some foam, the 25mm foam that we sell at Hey Little Magpie from Sticks 2. Great stuff. So now that one's down, I'll move on to the second photo. And as you see here, even the smallest pieces get used. There was a little gap to the right hand side of the photo. I don't know how clearly you can see it in this, between the navy blue piece and the red piece. So I just wanted to bridge that gap. So just using a tiny piece, folding over the bits of double-sided tape that have lapped over the edges and sticking that down. And again, there's a little gap in the corner here, so just using this, it's just the tear off strip at the top of the 6x8 paper pad, but it fits really neatly there. So I should just stick that down with some wet glue. And now I'm going to start going through and continuing to find some ephemera bits to embellish a little bit further. So first of all, I've got that little tab that's just there and that's going to sit there for my date. And then I'm going to go through the sticker book to see if there are any other bits and pieces that I can add on. Now this little sticker just says this, and I thought that was quite appropriate for this photo because it's just showing all the people in the theatre and how excited everyone was to be there for the performance of Hamilton. So now I can stick this photo down with my foam pads, just making sure the paper dust is off that layout by banging it on the table. That's the one disadvantage when you're distressing. And you can see here that the photo mat that I'd created with the distress oxides when I was doing my mixed media was too low, but it doesn't really matter. By the time I finished embellishing, you won't notice that at all. So never worry too much when you do things like that. It's always covered, so it doesn't matter. So just going through to see what else I can find in the sticker book. I'm thinking about using one of these tabs, but they don't really work. So onto the next sticker, and I find this zigzag border, and you can see above that tab there, just where I'm putting the zigzag border, there's a little bit of white where my mixed media didn't quite reach as far as it should have done, so just using this to cover it up. And again, it's adding dimension and texture to the layout, so it's quite nice to add bits and pieces, cover up mistakes, not that they're really mistakes, but you know. And then these gold splatters I like, so just adding a couple of these, one to the top, and then to balance it out I'll add one to the bottom as well. And I tend to mirror, so if it goes at the top left it comes down to the bottom right. I'm now going to build up a little cluster here on the left of this photo of Amelia and I. Starting with that green circle with the gold border, and then looking for some little word stickers that I can add. So this one simply says photo. Just looking through, having a good read, seeing what would be appropriate and isn't too long. And then I settle on this one that says This Life, and that's just layered over that circle. So next, moving on to the 6x12 chipboard stickers to see if there's anything else on this that I can add. And straight away I find this little black and gold star, which will work really nicely in that cluster. I don't want the cluster to be too big, it's just to add a little bit because I've got that tab there. This arrow works really nicely, just guiding your eye from one photo to the next. And then I find this little tag that says this memory. And that just finishes off that cluster nicely. And now the 6x12 sticker sheet. And there's so much on this sticker sheet, it's wonderful. So I start with this little label that says happy looks good on you, because Amelia really does look so happy in this photo. And then a flag that says good day, just to add another layer to that central strip, and a little gold dot just to bring a bit more gold into that cluster. And I try not to add just one of anything, so because I've got the gold dot there, I add one to that lucky day ticket and move those splats. At first I move it to the right, to the left, but I want it to stay on the right, so it goes next to that lucky day tag. Now adding my date with my roller date stamp and just with the black ink onto this tab, and then that can be added. Again, just with my wet glue, I just find it quick and easy. And you have a bit of manoeuvrability when you use wet glue as well. If you're using double-sided tape, once it's down without a bit of effort. So now I want to come in with my title, and I've already done one page about our trip to Hamilton with the title Hamilton, so I didn't really want to use that again. So I've gone for The Room Where It Happened, which is a very famous song from Hamilton. You'll know if you've been to see it or listen to the music. So now, in hindsight, I decided that I wanted to use this stamp, another stamp from Darkroom Door, a grid stamp. So I'm having to carefully cover the bits that I don't want the stamp to go on so that I can add a few bits of this grid. But it works out okay. Definitely should have done this before adding all the photos and things. But you live and learn, and it wasn't until I looked around that I saw it and I thought, oh, I meant to use that. So just carefully covering things and adding some stamps around. Again, not taking the backing off to use it with a block. And it went over the washi sticker there a little bit, but because these are water-based inks, you can rub it straight off if you're quick. So just carefully positioning things around. And I really love the bit that adds. It brings the black in and adds a bit more to this layout. So finally I'm going to go in with my Heidi Swap Gold Colour Shine Mist to just add some splatters around the layout. And that's pretty much it done. So thank you so much for joining me. Do check the description box down below to see everybody else who's joining in on this wonderful hop. There's a playlist so you can watch to your heart's content. I'd love it if you give me a like and subscribe if you like my channel and are enjoying my videos, and do have a chat down in the comments box. I love to hear from you. And with that, I shall see you tomorrow for the next video. Thank you so much. Bye for now.